The end of the road for Bitcoin. The end of the bull market. That's what I believe is happening right now. I see a similar thing that happened here happening. So 1, 2, into the 3, the blow off top, which could be any number really. But if you're being realistic, I don't expect it to go too much higher than 150k. That's just based off estimates. It could range from the price we're at now all the way to about 300k, depending on how crazy this thing goes. I wouldn't rule out a move as crazy as that. However, that looks crazy, bro. I feel like that's more realistic. Yeah, I feel like that's so much more realistic. I don't see there being enough buyers from this point onwards because they'll think it's too expensive at the valuations that it is. Currently, we're in greed and there's a lot of liquidations on the long side, which argues the point that potentially it could be officially the end of the bull market. So if you believe in 4-year cycles, this right here is the end of the bull market because we're 575 days since the 2024 halving. So we are making up borrowed time. It's risky business. And somebody said, Robert Kiyosaki was talking about silver being at all-time highs, and it's saying that it's $1 away from turning into a rocket ship. So please get a few silver coins. But what this guy said was very interesting. Selling all my silver at 50 and will place sell positions and wait for the silver rocket crash. Be fearful when others are greedy. And others are greedy. That's why I did sell some silver yesterday. I do see a pullback at the all-time high. I just don't know how large the pullback will be. So why don't I bank some profits? I do believe in silver, but I want it to at a better price. BNB memes have already died, which is an actual madness. A lot of people made a lot of money long in this, but the majority will lose money on the way down. Some people will actually get caught bag holding, which you don't want either. Omikami AI and Omichain is a layer 1 blockchain designed for security, decentralization, and high transaction speeds. You are early. But somebody else was saying it's a scam, so there's conflicting opinions. Silver looks like it is going to about $56 and then maybe going for a wave 2 about $42. So however, as mentioned before, the move to the upside is very extended. This is a hype phase. As long as the price holds above $47, the price should reach $51 very soon. Why is Bitcoin and alts dumping? Now, 4 reasons: OG whale selling, rising inflation, leverage flush, gold and dollar rally. What will happen next? There's no doubt that Q4 will be bullish for Bitcoin and alts. I don't know about alts, you know. I'm losing faith, and I'm losing faith hard. Because if you look at their performance against Bitcoin, Bitcoin's been the only one that rallies. And I know alts usually do better after Bitcoin tanks at the end of the cycle, but there's no life for them, and there's too many, and it's too much dilution. None of the bullish catalysts have been priced in, and there's no euphoria in the timeline. Just like 23 and 24, whales will first shake out the weak hands. Once people start believing there'll be no Q4 pump, which I'm starting to do, a massive rally will start. I think this is the worst case scenario now. Could be a few weeks of chop before a reversal. Now, I don't think there won't be an alt season. I just think the alts that are going to pump are these ones right here. The ones that you see. Maximum top 100 coins. And they're the ones that are moving, like for example Zcash. They're the ones that are moving. Every single coin that you hold will not pump. And you need to be okay with that because you may be wrong. You don't want to be caught bag holding. We're in borrowed time. The US government borrows over 2 trillion per year. It's currently shut down for the 11th time. Printed 4 trillion during the pandemic. Spared a 25% loss in USD in 2 years. Spends close to 7 trillion per year. At what point do we fix the system? That's what people believe crypto, gold and silver is going to help. That's why they're rallying. But it could be hype. I think we could see a major bear market, and then after that they'll start soaring again with precious metals correcting. with stocks, but moving up quicker than stocks because stocks correct for longer.
You have to understand the stages of the altcoin season. So what I'm going to do is break down exactly how altcoins are going to play out in the next year or so. Stage 1, Bitcoin will break all-time high, but at the same time, Bitcoin dominance will drop. Bitcoin dominance is basically Bitcoin's dominance over the market. So if it's dropping, that means altcoins are increasing in dominance. This shows the liquidity is going from Bitcoin to altcoins, specifically when Bitcoin's price is going up. This really shows at the core that there's a lot of overexcitement. Bitcoin's going up and altcoins are going up even faster. That's stage 1. Stage number 2, Ethereum starts to outcompete Bitcoin on a substantial level. Ethereum is used as the gas to buy other altcoins in most cases. So when people are starting to buy Ethereum, that is a sign that people are starting to think about altcoins. This really shows that people are getting off the centralized exchanges and going on decentralized exchanges. And you could actually find this by looking at the ETH BTC charts, basically a ratio that shows that Ethereum is outcompeting Bitcoin. Number 3, large liquidity coins besides Ethereum and the main ones start outcompeting Ethereum itself. So we're talking about the large market cap coins that you see on CoinMarketCap. When you start seeing a lot of them pop off, you can't really find a chart for this, but you'll start to see them individually. You'll see some of them like pop up like 600%, 500%. This is also stage 3 because what's happening is the liquidity is going from Bitcoin to Ethereum. And then now people are starting to find out about the safer coins. They're still a little conservative. We haven't really tapped into the full-on euphoria hype mode. People are still keeping it conservative by buying higher market cap, higher liquidity coins. Stage number 4 is where the money is made. This is when the low liquidity coins start outcompeting the high liquidity and Ethereum and Bitcoin. They start just doing crazy numbers. I remember last cycle, there was a rock that sold for like $5 million. I'm talking about a picture of a pixelated rock where we start seeing these really stupid projects. And also to add in this category, NFTs. NFTs are super small brain. We have 2 different types of narratives. We call it big brain narratives, which is very difficult and complex to understand. And narratives just mean stories. And when the big brain ones are hitting, that's probably not the altcoin cycle. When you start seeing very simple narratives, very simple ones, like it's kind of like it goes over your head. This is why people that are too smart or they think they're too smart with their research strategy is probably not going to make money. Keep in mind, Shiba Inu last cycle did the best out of any coin in the entire market, and it's just a meme coin, right? So the point is, like, you want these small brain narratives. Once you start seeing the small coins, small liquidity, stupid projects that just go over your head, they're so simple and like really seems like it's dumb and they're doing really well, that right there is stage 4. And this officially starts the last stage, which I call the power cycle, which is anywhere from 30 to 90 days. It's going to be a period where you look at any coin, does not matter what it is, and it will go up in value. It's going to be like putting a blindfold on, going to the market cap websites, picking a coin and thinking that you're a genius. Everybody will think they're a genius in this moment. And this is where most people lose their money because they get too greedy. Please, when you see this type of excitement, humble yourself. Understand that, hey, look, I don't really know what I'm doing and I'm somehow making a lot of money, and take that money out of the market. I've seen way too many people lose all their money because they got too greedy and they thought that they knew what they were talking about because they bought a coin for some YouTuber that said to buy a coin, and now they think they're a genius and they did no research at all. Sell the coin, bro. If you hit and you get lucky, sell the coin.
Facts. 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 That just reminds me of Omikami though, with Shiba Inu as well. That's crazy.